Hello.
Hey, so
How's everybody?
we have here,
Starting a little bit early.
yeah, a little bit of a bonus content. We got Enchanted Plumes,
Yeah.
from Calliope Games and designer Brendan Hansen.
AKA
Keyforge community.
AKA Burnside.
Maybe familiar with him.
So
Very cool. We're gonna try to build the prettiest peacock to entice the peahen, the dreaded peahen, who will show up at the end of the deck to end the game. And that's how we know the end game is ended. Peahen is shuffled to the bottom cards. I will explain the game now, so that makes more sense. So basically, we're going to be taking turns, and we're going to be assembling our peacocks.
Our plumage.
You could make multiple peacocks.
Ah.
You don't necessarily even have to complete a peacock to score.
Okay.
I'll explain how that works. So the setup, I'll go through that real quick. We take the deck, and the deck is 10 colors of plumes numbered from 0 to 9. For a 2-player game, you remove all cards with numbers 7, 8, and 9. So
you have to modify the deck a little bit.
Yeah, modify it. You go through this. We've already done that. This is now a 70 card deck instead of a 100 card deck.
Okay.
If my math checks out. I think it does. So what we're going to do is we shuffle this deck, and we deal each player 9 cards, and then each player chooses 6 cards to keep as their hand. Your hand size is always maximum 6.
Okay.
But that lets you kind of sculpt your starting hand and kind of develop like a starting strategy for it. And I'll explain how to build a peacock first before you have to worry about that. So the gameplay is going to be, there will be 5 cards in the middle, and this is the train.
Okay.
And there's the deck. You're going to have your hand of 6 cards.
I'll just grab 6, I guess, for illustration purposes.
I'll put them face up. So on your turn, you can play 1 or 2 cards from your hand.
Okay.
Down, either to start a peacock or to build onto a peacock that you have existing. So if I only want to start a peacock, I would put this one right here. And I can play another card and say, okay, you have to have 2, obviously, at minimum, to start a row for a peacock. Now this row can be as long as you want. However, everything at the top of your peacock is negative points. Every card you have at the top row is negative points during scoring. But
so if it's not completed,
no matter what, it is always negative points in the top row. Yeah. So you start scoring real points once you get down into it. Now,
I see.
The restrictions for placing plumes down here is you have to match a color. But you place it in the middle, so that's not the matching color. Find one matching color.
I've got it
there. That works. So I could place this here. Now this would be a completed tiny peacock. If you place the last peacock on it, you turn it face down.
Okay.
And that score is actually hidden from your opponent. You do have to still follow the rules for placement.
Okay.
But say I placed this here on my next turn, and this here on my next turn. I could put this down. I could put this down on another turn. I could put this down.
So I see. So since the top row is always negative, strategically what you're trying to do is you're trying to make this the smallest numbers possible, and then these larger.
Yep, and as big as possible, and then you keep going from there. So I could do that, and this one has to be purple, so
you could get one.
I could grab one of these, right? And then my final one, I could just play from hand face down. Okay. During scoring, let's turn face up and scored.
So the last, I guess, if you're working on a peacock, it doesn't have to be finished. Then
it doesn't have to be finished to score, but if it's a scored, you do score bonus points. So during scoring, at the end of the game, I would turn this face up. I would get negative points for these. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8 negative points. I would then score points equal to the value of all these cards. So that's 9, 14, 16, 18, 21. And then you get bonus points. Since it's completed, you get bonus points for each card in the peacock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bonus points.
Okay.
So that's how it works. Now, if this was incomplete, then I would get these negative points and these points, but I would not get bonus points.
See.
So that's the entire game.
Gotcha. Okay, so you could have a peacock that looks something like this. And then you could build onto it like that as your turn because you can play 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm following.
So you can play 1 or 2 cards, and then at the end of your turn, you have to replenish your hand. You either draw exactly 2 cards from a feather deck, or you swap exactly 2 cards from your hand with the train. So you would take these 2 and then put these 2 down, or you draw 1 card and swap 1 card. Okay. Your hand can never go above 6 cards. So if your first draw brings you to 6 cards, you then have to swap with your second action.
I see. Okay.
Because you can't go up to 7.
Yeah, I got you. You could have, so like, for instance, this hand right here has got a lot of 4s and 5s and 6s in it, so I wouldn't want to start a peacock with these necessarily.
But you do have to play 1 or 2 cards starting, and then you swap out. So
right.
you can put that down, and then you
right. It would be very hard to make this not be like a top-heavy peacock, right? So I could end up playing these and then draw like another 4 and a 5 or something, and then kind of like want to build from have to like swap around. So I got you. Excuse me, Edward. Excuse me.
We're trying to teach about peacocks here.
No, you don't. Yeah, I don't think Eddie likes birds, guys. Sorry.
I can confirm he chases birds in the yard sometimes.
Yeah.
That is it. So,
okay.
The peahen will be shuffled into the bottom, I think, 8 cards. Hey, Burnside.
Hey, Burnside.
Happy to answer any questions. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We will do our best not to mess it up. I think I got a pretty good grasp on it. I've read the rule book a few times. I watched the video, and I don't think it's that difficult. Hopefully, if we mess anything up glaringly, feel free to yell at us.
How's it going, Stormstrong?
Okay, so shuffle all these up.
Okay. Make
sure I don't have anything upside down. The cards look great.
Yeah, oh yeah, the cards do look beautiful. Yeah. So,
and this is gonna be a great game to like start a board game night too. I love that it's 2 to 6 players too, because it's really hard to find. Right nowadays, it's like so hard to find a game that goes above 4 players.
Yeah.
Every game I bought.
There's some games that you can do 5 with. But games and the big issue I'd say when you get to 6 and more players is the length of the game
between turns and
so like you need a game that can scale, so it's not easy.
Okay, so you're gonna deal out 9 to each of us first, and then we'll pick our 6 card hand, then we reshuffle it. We shuffle the 3 cards we didn't pick back into the deck.
Okay.
We take the top 7 cards from the deck, shuffle the peahen into them, and return that short stack of 8 cards to the bottom of the feather deck.
6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, and 9. All right.
So I imagine you're looking for like low and high numbers here.
Mm-hmm. And probably like some colors that match.
Yeah.
Probably the more matching, the better.
I saw it in Brendan's his Board Game Week article. He talked about how this portion of the game went through a few iterations, like with player drafting cards, before they ended up with this one that kind of made the most sense and it was the most elegant. Whereas player drafting is like a whole other phase of the game, right?
Yeah,
that can be kind of confusing probably to some people. I'm gonna mostly wing it, I think. Yes.
All right. Got my 6.
I too have my 6. So shuffle those back in.
Yeah, it's one thing to have like the idea of the game that you want, and then fine-tuning certain aspects of it. I think like this part is something you could try different variants with, depending on like the relative comfort level a player would have with a game like this. I think if you're used to like traditional card games, then dealing out and then you picking and throwing back is a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
But if you come from like a Magic background, then a draft, you know, if you've
like
played Seven Wonders,
we're gonna draft stuff.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, okay, I understand.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. Yeah. But if you've never played a Magic booster draft before, you have no idea. Okay, so the top 8? 7? Okay. 6 and 7.
All right, peahen is going in.
All right.
And this gets shuffled and put on the bottom. And you can go ahead and deal the top 5 out.
Okay, as the train.
As the train. This lineup is called the Train.
All right.
The player who last saw a peacock takes the first turn.
I think I have not seen a peacock in real life. Is probably like 20 years ago.
Who even knows? Probably last time I went to a zoo. 20 years ago. We'll do random.
Okay.
It says you can determine randomly. So.
All right. 9. A 6.
Okay, so on my turn, I can play 1 or 2 cards from my hand, and then I replenish my hand. So I will. I'll start the peacock over here.
I'll go zeros.
Yeah, sweet, sweet zeros. And then I can draw 2 cards, or I can swap cards. I'll just draw 2. Okay.
All right. So, all right. So I'll start a peacock like so.
I do wonder how much room this is going to take.
So you have to swap from the train.
Yeah, you're swapping from the train. You are not gaining cards if you swap from the train.
Okay.
And you can draw 1, swap 1. You can swap 2, or you can draw 2.
All right. So I'll draw 1, swap 1.
And that you can do either order with that, it says. You can draw 1 card from the feather deck and swap 1 from your hand with 1 card from the train. You can do that in either order you want.
Okay. I'll swap 1.
I will.
Yeah. Also, once I've got the information from the draw, I'll make my decision.
Yeah. As soon as you place on a row below this one, you can't add to the top row anymore.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put another 0 down. And this is 2. Like a big boy over here. And let's
make it a tall boy.
Yeah. I think I'll swap 1. And then I'll draw 1.
Okay.
The rules for placing are you can place anything you want on the top row. You can make the top row as long as you want. If you place in the next row down, you have to match a color of the plume. So if I wanted to place here, I have to place either a white plume or a gray plume, and here either gray or purple, and that counts all the way down to the bottom.
All right. So
you're going to cut off a color eventually.
Place that like that, and then I will draw, and I will draw.
Okay, I will place that there, and that there.
You're an ostentatious
draw
peacock, sir. All right, I am going to put that there and that there. So that's complete. So that just sits off to the side now, right?
Yep.
All right. And I'll draw here. I will draw here.
The entire game ends when the peahen card is drawn from this deck. The peahen is in the bottom 8 cards of this deck.
So I assume if you draw it, you have to reveal it.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay. The game ends instantly. So, yes. Something to watch out for. That peahen. Alright, I will put this here. And I'll start a new rock over here. Then I shall swap and draw. Okay.
Yeah. So you can play 1 or 2, right?
1 or 2.
But to start a new peacock, I have to play 2.
You can play 1, I think, to start a new peacock.
Okay. Yeah. Is that correct, Burnside? If you don't mind me asking. I was wondering how I would ever get my hand. Yes. Okay. All right. So I will play that. I was wondering how I would ever get my hand back up to the 6. But if I play one, draw 2, then yeah. Okay. I'll play that, and then I'll draw. And
Alright, we'll play this and this, and then I'll draw 2.
I'll play that. I'll play this. I will draw.
I'm assuming I can't place here until I've placed here.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that the way it works? You can't. Can you start the next row down before you have to complete each row in turn?
That's right. You have to finish the row before moving on. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. That's good. All right. Well, I've peacocked myself into a corner, so gotta slow down a little bit. I'll play that. I will draw 1, and then swap 1.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
All right, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna build that. And I'll be there. We'll draw. And draw.
Okay, I'll place this here, and then I'm just gonna draw twice.
So you can fork then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this, now I've cut off white totally from my plume.
Yeah. Yeah. That was something I had not. Oh, I actually cheated right here. I could not play that there.
My goodness.
Nobody caught it though. Nobody caught it though.
I can't even believe you cheated at Enchanted Plumes the first time. Jeez. What are the rules for cheaters?
Burnside, am I banned for life from the competitive Enchanted Plumes?
The strategy storm for the top row is everything on the top row counts for negative points for your plume. So you want lower numbers in the top row.
Oh, the colors don't have to touch. Oh, I did not cheat. Ah.
Oh, they just have to be in the row above.
The colors just have to be in the row above.
I did not realize that.
Okay.
That's good to know.
All right.
Well,
all right.
Great.
I'm good. I'm safe.
Cheat. We just didn't know the rules.
I am safe.
Cool.
Okay.
But if I couldn't place white here
now
because it's not in the row above.
Yeah.
The 2 purples do force the fact that your final card must be purple, and that's all.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the case.
Cool.
So. All right. Cool. I was worried that my professional Enchanted Plumes career was over before it began. So. All right. I am going to play this and that. Starting a new peacock.
Yeah, still spreading them wings.
And then draw. It's so. I do like the tension that the numbers give you.
Yeah, because like I got to get.
Because I'm like, yeah. I want those big numbers, but at the same time, I gotta have the small number before the big number is worth anything.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'll play.
I gotta draw one more. Sorry.
Okay.
Good.
Play this, and then I will not play anything else. I'm gonna do a swap. That guy, then I'll draw one. Did you play with the colors having to touch in the above row when you're designing? I'm curious about that. And did you change it to they just have to be in the top row? Or the row above? You did end up being cut for similar reasons as the draft. Okay, too much. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Oh man, there's so many peacocks in this house right now. Eddie can't.
Big brain.
I think I just play the one.
Okay.
And I will draw. And so now I have to swap. So I'm gonna swap this for this.
I feel like too much rules baggage for the target audience, which is basically anyone who ever played a game at the beach or on vacation. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Try to still pick as much punch as possible with this little rules baggage. That's a great.
Yeah.
I think like that part of designing a light game is probably one of the more difficult aspects of it, especially if you are really in tune with gaming and you're very high mechanics thinking kind of brain. Like you have to kind of bring it down.
Right.
And that's probably very difficult.
Yeah. Anytime Justin and I do any kind of amateur design, that's always our problem.
We over design stuff.
We're like trying to like make it bulletproof when you don't even really have to do that. You just got to make it fun. So,
you're done.
Yeah,
you have 2 peacocks. I got no peacocks.
Yeah.
All right. Color struggling over here. All right, I will play this guy. Then I'm gonna draw 2. I'll draw 1. Draw 1.
Okay.
And that deck is getting low quick.
Yeah. Well, if it's 70, it's only like 30 something turns between us, right? We're not sure exactly how many.
So difficult to cut away and so easy to add, which is always my inclination and desire. Totally, I'm right there with you. Really struggle with those types of designs too because I find it more difficult to figure out what the focus and core should be. Why would anyone pull it out of another game?
Yeah.
This is a key element.
We have a number of friends, so we're slowly indoctrinating our friends into harder and harder games. Because we have a lot of friends who have not gamed nearly as much as we have, but it's just one of those. It's just like they'll randomly see us playing something or they'll try something out. So typically it's significant others. What is he doing? Come on. Yeah, he's too hyped. Okay, he's jumping up.
Too hyped about people.
So typically it's like significant others who haven't gamed as much but still like want to hang out with us. So games like this are a great bridge because there's plenty of strategy in it, obviously, you just get to slowly inch them towards Twilight Imperium.
It's very sad. I don't know if that should be your goal.
My goal is to get everybody eventually to the point where they want to play Twilight Imperium.
Let's do Eclipse instead. I feel like Eclipse would be more fun.
I do. Well, I haven't played the new version of.
I do really want to play the new Eclipse, and I guess the new Twilight Imperium too.
Yeah, but I have a 25-part plan to turn any non-gamer into a Twilight Imperium fan. Okay. I don't know if I want to start the next row yet.
Bridge is great, and also Enchanted Plumes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll just draw.
Okay.
And then swap. Since I'm at 6. You aren't doing much with white, so I think I can swap that.
I'll play this guy. And it's more challenging than I thought it would be, honestly.
Plumes to TI.
I'll end my turn. I'll draw one, and then I have to swap one.
What I'll do is I'll make the a telemarketer-esque script where I'll have forks and branches depending on what games your friends did and didn't like.
Oh yeah.
So it'll branch out, but then it'll all eventually hook back in to Twilight.
Honestly, a graph like that's serious would be really useful.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would probably be really hard to make, but
it would be very hard, but it feels like something that would be fun.
Yeah.
To try to like sit down and brain through. Okay. All right. I am going to Wingspan.
Okay, that's cool. I know Target is getting into that board game market.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got mixed feelings about it, obviously,
it's
but
the corporate takeover.
Because once again, it's like the game stores that made Wingspan possible and popular. The big thing is that
so the idea is if someone buys a game at Target and they like the game and they're like, I want to play more games like this, they go back to Target and like, I don't really see anything here. What should I find? I have a local gaming store.
Yeah,
they have all the stuff about
also
games. Target employees don't know what you're talking about.
Also, it's not bad to have a company that's at least large enough to give Amazon a run for its money.
Yeah.
Because something Amazon does is that if it has all the data on what's selling on Amazon. So if your local store sells through Amazon to like keep the lights on, and Amazon like looks at it and says, oh, this thing's got a pretty good profit margin, they'll just start selling it themselves cheaper than your local store can do it. And then your local store's back to not selling copies of the game anymore. So at least having something like Target around can maybe help in the grand pricing wars. Okay, so I'm gonna place that there.
It's also interesting to be able to see like what is already out there.
Yeah.
As far as like the colors I'm looking for, I bet in a larger player game that's just
it gets hairy.
Yeah.
Or feathery.
Because if you can't like plan to get those colors if they're all already in play, right?
Oh, I'm trying to play too many cards. I play 2 cards and then I draw. So I'll draw and then draw.
Okay, I will play.
Yeah, exactly.
The card.
And then here's the thing. You can't just open up Wingspan in Target and play it in Target. There's not really a place to do that. At least a local game store, you got a place to, right?
And draw. All right, your turn.
All right, I am going to play. Yes, right. As somebody who's like, I've been waiting for somebody to pull Wingspan off the shelf because I'm dying to teach them this game, All right, I am going to play that. And good lord. He hates these peacocks.
Okay, go.
It's something he can't see.
Yeah.
And thus it makes him angry. Alright. So I'm just gonna play that one, and then I am going to swap out this for this. And then swap out we're being too ostentatious in here. Swap out that.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna start a new bird.
You maniac.
Down here.
What a mad lad.
And then I will swap for this. And swap for this. Okay, your turn.
Alright, I am going to place that. And to place this, I will draw. I'll draw.
This. And place this. I will draw one. And swap one. Okay, your turn.
Place.
Place that there. Then this here. I'll draw. Draw. Okay.
Alright, I will start a new peacock. Why are you licking my arm? Have I ever expressed interest in you licking my arm, Eddie? I am... I'm gonna start a new bird. And I will draw.
Told me a mad lad just now.
And then draw. I mean, I got my birds complete, so.
World's 5 with no board clears. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I got one bird over here.
Oh, that's so.
Place this and then this. And I'll draw. And draw. Oh my gosh. What?
Alright, I'll place that there. I'll make a very tiny peacock.
You were chill all day. Literally all day.
Yeah. This is the duality of Eddie. Draw.
You've been down, that's the same one. Same one he has had for like the last month. I have not taken it off. What? Why are you so sad?
Why is he?
Jeez. Okay.
Let's talk.
Oh, there's where they get the treat. Oh, they have uniform outer feather design? Oh, okay. So you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because, like, these are differently oriented. Oh, let's give it a treat real quick. Hey, he's just waiting. Rewarding that type of behavior all the time.
Yeah. Constantly rewarding.
Okay. Sometimes it makes him chill, honestly, but
It's sometimes. He seems unchillable right now.
yeah. He does need love. True. Here. Cactus.
It is
your turn.
I made this tiny little peacock.
Oh, okay.
And then Eddie busted up into the game.
I see. All right, I will play this. Then draw. And draw. All right, your turn.
All right, I'll start a new bird. And I'm gonna drop the hint and find the hint.
Okay, I will complete this burb. Man, I mean, I gotta draw because I can't complete this peacock unless I get a card. So there's the hen. All right, the peahen has arrived
to judge us.
To judge. Okay, so scoring. Top row is always negative.
Hands don't matter. Okay, so I'll just pile all of this together.
Yep.
To get this out of the way to make it easier for us to.
You can turn these face up now.
All right.
Top row is always negative. The values in the bottom rows all count for what they are, and you get bonus points for completed hens based on the amount of cards in the peacocks, and based on the amount of cards in the peacocks.
Okay.
So, be a bear stuff makes just first counting bonus points, then subtracting all negative, and then adding the rest to that value. Okay, I'm gonna get the calculator out for this.
All right. First, count the bonus points. So in this case, the bonus points would be the completed.
So you have.
I got 6.
I only have 12.
So 6, 12, 10, 22, 3, 25.
Okay, and then subtracting all negative for 4 points from that.
25, 23, 21, and 4, 17, and 3, 14.
I have 11, so I ended up with 1 total after
Okay.
that. And then just adding these up.
All right. So 14... 9, 7, 36. 36 and 6 is 42. 32, 6, 27, 53, 6, 59, and 6, 65.
I had 62.
And 3, 68.
All right, I had 62 and 68. I feel like I only completed that giant bird.
Completed that bird, yeah, because it was
that was going to be very
15,
difficult.
It would have been 15 points.
I don't know that I even had. Okay, that could have done it.
Yeah,
it was very. There were very few cards left that could have completed it.
Yeah,
I just had to get to it.
I guess so. With 5, that means you have to go at least 5 of a suite, then, right?
If you have a total of 5.
Yeah, a 5 across, you would have to go 5 down.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to need 5 of the same.
One of the colors has to be 5 of. That is really interesting. I didn't actually consider that when I started building because there's only 10, and in our game there's only 6,
7. Yeah, 0,
7,
0 through 6. Yeah, 7.
No. Oh yeah. But there's no 7, 8, 9.
Right?
Yeah. There's only 7 cards of that color.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, going for the big pyramid's very ambitious, right? If he hits it, then he wins.
Yeah. But, I mean, you gotta go big. I mean, it wasn't too far behind either.
Right.
So,
yeah, I opted to try to like complete and secure the bonus points before moving on. So I was trying to like visualize what the bird would end up being in my hand as I was like sculpting it and stuff like that. So
and it comes in this nifty little box here.
I love games like this, like The Mind and other stuff that where. It fits in a box, just a small box. You can put like 6 games like this in a backpack, and it doesn't weigh much. This is like a good con game.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like toss it in your bag and you play. Yeah. Go to your local gaming store.
There you go.
Pick you up a copy of Enchanted Plumes.
Enchanted Plumes. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Burnside, for sending this to us.
We do appreciate that.
Pretty sweet. So
very much appreciate that. We'll definitely bust this out again with our friends. Show them the wrath of the peahen. I think that this game is very eloquently designed. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful. Can't say enough about that. Like good design a good graphic design,
yeah,
can draw a lot of people to a game they otherwise might not be interested in. So there you go.
There you go.
Enchanted Plumes. Now,
now we got some Keyforge.
I'm gonna send it to. Appreciate the play. Really fun hearing your thoughts, process, play through the turns. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, hanging out.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
That's the magic of the internet.
Yeah, very cool. I'm gonna put it on the ending screen real quick, and then on the starting screen, just so I have a capstone to start the VOD. Because I'm gonna split this into 2 videos for YouTube.
Yeah. So
goodbye.